Well, hello and welcome, everyone. This is Jackie Christensen, your host for this evening's Sisel product call. So glad to have you on the phone with me. It's so fun to get together and have an audience and have you listen to all the details about our amazing Sisel products. You know, Sisel is based on science and innovation and longevity and technology and just cutting-edge science. All our products are just so amazing. And, you know, I talk to people every day about the business and about the products, and I get this question a lot. They want to know, well, are you using any of the products? And I say, you know, I am. And they say, which ones? And I say, no, I say it would be better for me to tell you which ones I don't use. And I stop at the nail pit. That's it. We're using everything else, I think, which is a great testimony to the business and to the product. My background is as a certified nutritionist, both a sports nutritionist, child nutritionist, and personal trainer. And I've been in the industry for about 20 years, and this is what I do. My mission is to help people with their health, and Sisel just fits in perfectly with that. I handpicked Sisel because, number one, the products, because of the science behind the products. So let's go ahead and get into tonight's call. You may want to take some notes. We are recording, and I'll post this in the Sisel Academy as well, so you can go in there and share this call. So we're going to be talking about Sisel's intensified progesterone cream, and it's truly called intensified progesterone cream. And I like that word. It really describes really all of our products. All of our products are intensified, from our liquid nutritional to the anti-aging skin cream to the progesterone hormone balancing cream. It's what we do. Sisel makes the high quality product just so effective, gets results fast. And I tell you, I use this off the counter from the health food store before. That's a little bit different. And tonight we're going to talk about what it is, how you use it, and who should use it. I did see a big difference when I started using the progesterone cream from Sisel. Big difference. What it does is progesterone is something that's naturally occurring in your body, men and women, but it really is a dominant hormone in women along with estrogen, and it should be in balance. And when it's not in balance and there isn't enough progesterone being produced in your body, estrogen is dominant, that's when there's some negative health effects that can come in. That's when you are more at risk for things like breast cancer. So it really is something good. Now, this particular progesterone cream is from wild yam. So it's an isolated constituent of wild yam, and it's called diogenin or diogenin. So in the laboratory, diogenin is converted first to pregnenolone, naturally occurring hormone in the body, and then to progesterone. And that is a natural process. This is not synthetic. Synthetic progesterone is not good for you. But it can do things like help protect the body against breast cysts, helps use the fat for energy, keeps it off the hips. It's a natural diuretic. It's a natural antidepressant. I can vouch for that. My mood elevated literally from one morning to the afternoon. And I thought, oh, I really got something good here. It facilitates thyroid hormone action. It normalizes blood clotting. It increases libido. It normalizes blood sugar levels. It normalizes zinc and copper levels. It restores proper cell oxygen levels. It helps prevent endometrial cancer. It helps prevent breast cancer and increases bone building. So it's exactly the same hormone that is produced by a woman's ovary. And it's made naturally, and it's from naturally occurring plant sterols found in the wild yam. It's not the synthetic version that's commonly found in like a prescription called Provera. You might have seen the commercials, which is a synthetic progesterone and causes a lot of side effects. The only one concern is that it might slightly alter the timing of menstrual cycle. The other ingredients are carriers preservatives, moisturizers, emulsifiers, thickeners, and pH adjusters. So, as I said, it comes from the dried root or rhizome from wild hemp, and it's a phytoestrogen that can be converted to progesterone, as I mentioned. It does not seem to act like estrogen in the body. In fact, it helps to balance estrogen. Let's see. Also, just a little side note here, it's not the purpose of progesterone cream, but isogenin is a steroidal saponin obtained from fenugreek, and it found their anti-carcinogenic properties, inhibiting proliferation and inducing apoptosis in body cancer cells. And remember that word apoptosis? You talked about it with poison. Well, it actually causes cancer cell death. So that's just a little side note on our product. Let's see here. If you're on the moderator line, am I coming in clear, or does it sound a little tinny? I can take you off. I can take myself off speaker. Or Eric, if you can text me and let me know. All right, well, I'll keep going until I hear from one of you. All right.
You're getting text from people and stuff, so I don't know, do you have voice by any chance in your phone?
I can't understand you, Eric. You sound really choppy. Is it the line again?
I can't understand any of you.
Oh, man. Okay. Can you understand each other?
I can understand Vicky. I just can't understand you. So.
Okay. Let me call in from my other line. This is my cell phone, but Vicky, stay on the moderator line, please, and I will dial back in on another phone. Stay tuned, guys. I will be right back.
All right. Can you guys hear me clearly?
You hear me perfect.
All right, Eric, you're really breaking up too.
Okay, I'm going to dial back in as well. I'll dial back in.
Okay. All right. I can barely understand what you're saying, so I don't know if it's the free conferencing line or if it's you guys' cell phones. I'm guessing it's the free conferencing lines.
Well, I'd just like to welcome everyone again. Sorry for those technical difficulties, but that happens sometimes. No worries. We are talking tonight on our Sisel product call about the intensified progesterone cream. And this is a supplement that women use. Men, stay on the line. This is important for you, too. We'll hear some testimonials at the end of the call. But it's important to know this for the females in your life, also your female prospects, and how you can help them. It's amazing how many times I get questions about, do you have anything for my mood? Do you have anything for energy levels? What about balancing hormones? Oh my gosh, I can't sleep. I have night sweats, or whatever it might be. Yes, the answer is yes. This is the product, and I'll get into all that information. As a nutritionist, I look for products that will help people with their health, help people with their ailments. So I'm a problem solver, and I learned to listen very closely and ask questions. It's amazing what people will tell you when you ask questions. So here we are in tonight's call. We're talking about progesterone cream, and you can talk to any woman probably between the age of 40 and 50, maybe a little more, 55 or so. And if it comes up, I don't know, it depends how well you know them. You can say, hey, do you know anyone that could use some help balancing their hormones or their mood, elevating their mood? Well, this is that product, and you'll be a lifesaver for them. You'll have a customer for life. Well, progesterone is something that is found naturally in our bodies that may diminish with age. And it happens, there are hormonal changes regarding maturing and aging, and it's normal. But there are some things that you can do to kind of alleviate some of those changes that I mentioned, and it just brings everything back into comfortable equilibrium. So Sisel Intensified Progesterone Cream is a paraben-free moisturizing cream. It contains up to 30 milligrams per ounce of natural progesterone, not synthetic. Very, very important. Synthetic progesterone is not good for you and can really upset your system. And
It's made to help provide support and balance for feminine needs and may address the natural concerns associated with maturing by providing supplemental natural progesterone to the skin for deep soothing penetration. So I mentioned something about the synthetic version. There are versions that are not effective. You can't just use wild yam cream off the shelf. In fact, I've been known to do that before I was in the know. And wild yam cream does not convert to progesterone. So it's got to be done in the laboratory. So sometimes you might have heard progesterone called progestin or proestrogen, thank you, Eric, or Dioscorea, which is unrefined wild yam. But Sisel's progesterone is distilled from the finest natural sources and is structurally identical to the progesterone created by your body. That is key. So this natural substance is often more easily accepted by the skin for potentially quick and lasting results. So this progesterone cream that Sisel has, it's a unique formula that's delivered through the skin via an advanced micronized liposome system. What does that mean? Extremely small particles, liposome through the skin, which encases extremely small progesterone particles in natural protective capsules that maintain its biological properties. I tell you, everything that Sisel makes is science-based, cutting edge. We have 20 full-time scientists on staff. This is all they do. They create incredible, effective products for us. So this process enables the progesterone to penetrate more deeply and smoothly over a longer period of time, resulting in a more controlled release of the progesterone. And Sisel's formula is also, as I mentioned, is also entirely free of potentially damaging parabens and other harmful endocrine disruptors found in many competing and over-the-counter products. Shea butter, aloe, sweet almond, and grapeseed oils moisturize and condition the skin while aiding in absorption. I tell you, I have the softest inner forearms that I have ever felt. Kidding. These rich skin formula ingredients may also have a calming and soothing effect. So this particular cream is used to help balance hormones, but let me tell you where it comes from. Natural progesterone are synthesized from the constituent of Diosgenis, Diosgenis, isolated from wild yam. Now, in the laboratory, diosgenin is converted to pregnenolone, again, a natural hormone that we all have, men too, and then to progesterone. So it's also called Dioscorea. It's the genus of wild yam. So really the effective part in this case of wild yam. Sisel progesterone has 25 milligrams of progesterone per quarter teaspoon of cream. We'll get into the dosing and all that in an application a little bit later in the call. But here are some things that progesterone can affect. It helps protect the body against breast cysts, helps use fat for energy and keeps it off the hips. Can I get a high five? Natural diuretic, natural antidepressant, facilitates thyroid hormone action, normalizes blood clotting, increases libido, normalizes blood sugar levels, normalizes zinc and copper levels, restores proper cell oxygen levels, so important. Helps prevent endometrial cancer, helps prevent breast cancer, and increases bone building. Natural progesterone is the exact same hormone that's produced by a woman's ovary. It's made from naturally occurring plant sterols found in the wild yam. This is not the synthetic version that's commonly purchased as tablets with a prescription, such as Provera. The synthetic progesterone can actually produce severe side effects. Natural is always better. The only one concern is that it might slightly alter the timing of the menstrual cycle, and the other ingredients are carriers, preservatives, moisturizers, emulsifiers, thickeners, and pH adjusters. Just a little caveat, not only can it alter the timing, it can normalize the timing if you have irregular cycles. So where does diosgenin come from? It comes from the dried root of the wild yam or the rhizome. It's used in commercial preparations. So diosgenin is a phytoestrogen that can be chemically converted to the hormone progesterone. But do know that it does not act like estrogen in the body. In fact, it balances the estrogen level. So there's got to be a balance between the estrogen and the progesterone. If there's not a balance and the estrogen is high, especially estradiol, the, quote, bad estrogen, you are more of a risk for breast cancer. Let's see here. It all, just as a side note, I was looking at diosgenin today, and it's considered a steroidal saponin obtained from fenugreek. Have you ever drank fenugreek tea? Was found to exert anti-carcinogenic properties, carcinogenic, cancer-causing, such as inhibiting proliferation and inducing apoptosis in a variety of tumor cells. And I've read on, and it talked about causing apoptosis in tumor cells in breast cancer and prostate cancer. So there you go, but we're not going to get into that tonight. Apoptosis means cancer cell death, by the way. Okay, so now you're wondering maybe some questions about it. So I am going to refer to the expert in the world-renowned Mr. John R. Lee. He is a medical doctor, and he answered some questions. He has books on this. He has websites. In fact, both Tom Maurer and Beverly Swanson, the Sisel product expert, she sent me some information, and everything was referring back to Dr. Lee. So here are a few questions. So we talked about what it is. I'm going to give you just a little more information, okay? So what is progesterone? And I'll post this entire next section so you can see Q&A. Progesterone is a steroid hormone made in the ovary at ovulation and in smaller amounts by the adrenal glands. It's manufactured in the body from the steroid hormone pregnenolone. It's a precursor to most of the other steroid hormones, including cortisol and androstenedione. There we go. The estrogens and testosterone. Now, normally in a cycling female, the corpus luteum, which is a part of the ovary, produces 20 to 30 milligrams of progesterone daily during the luteal phase of the menstrual cycle. Why do women need progesterone? Well, progesterone is needed in hormone replacement therapy for menopausal women for many reasons, but one of it is because it balances or opposes the effect of estrogen. Really huge here. Unopposed estrogen creates a strong risk for breast cancer and reproductive cancers. Estrogen levels drop only 40 to 60% at menopause, which is just enough to stop the menstrual cycle. But progesterone levels, get this, may drop to nearly zero in some women. So because progesterone is the precursor to so many other steroid hormones happening in your body, its use can greatly enhance overall hormone balance after menopause. So progesterone also stimulates bone building and thus helps protect against osteoporosis. So the reason why progesterone is preferred over Provera is that Provera is not natural. Progesterones don't create any undesirable side effects. Because it's natural. And let me see here. I'm just going to skip over some information that is not necessary to cover. All right. So when you have estrogen dominance, it means you don't have enough progesterone to balance the level of estrogen. So it's what happens when normal ratio or balance of estrogen to progesterone is changed by excess estrogen or inadequate progesterone. Getting the picture? You want to balance, like a balanced scale. So estrogen is a potent and potentially dangerous hormone when not balanced by adequate progesterone. So both women who have suffered from PMS or husbands who have suffered from PMS through their wives and women who have suffered from menopausal symptoms will recognize the hallmark symptoms of estrogen dominance. Here we go. Weight gain, bloating, mood swings, irritability, tender breasts, headaches. You guys are probably just so thankful that you're men right now. I'm going on. Fatigue, depression, hypoglycemia, uterine fibroids, endometriosis, and fibrocystic breasts. Painful. Estrogen dominance is known to cause and or contribute to cancer of the breast, ovary, endometrium, in other words, uterus, and prostate. That would be for men. Why would a premenopausal woman need a progesterone cream? Well, in the 10 to 15 years before menopause, many women regularly have anovulatory cycles in which they make enough estrogen to create menstruation, but they don't make any progesterone. So this sets up the stage for estrogen dominance. And using progesterone cream during these anovulatory months can help prevent the symptoms of PMS. Hence, headaches go away, energy level goes up, mood goes up, night sweats stop, hot flashes stop, you feel better, everything's balanced. I keep saying that word, balance, very important here. So we know now that PMS can occur despite normal progesterone levels. When stress is present, stress increases cortisol. You probably know that, cortisol production. And then cortisol blockades or competes for progesterone receptors. And additional progesterone is required to overcome this blockade. So stress management is important. See? So progesterone is even good for stress and combating cortisol levels. And cortisol levels go up when stress goes up. Let's see, we already talked about where progesterone is made from. Let's see here. Let me jump down here. All right. Next question. Where should I put the progesterone cream? Well, it's very fat soluble, so it's easily absorbed through the skin. From subcutaneous fat, progesterone is absorbed into capillary blood. So the doctors will tell you to put it on some of the thinnest skin that you have, often mentioning the inner forearm, just above the wrist area, skin's thin there, and maybe on your neck, wherever the skin is the thinnest on your body. Let's see here. Thus, absorption is best at all the skin sites where people blush. Isn't that sweet? Face, neck, chest, breasts, inner arms, and palms of the hands. I didn't know that. Dosage. What is the recommended dosage of progesterone? Well, for premenopausal women, here is where you want to take notes. The usual dose is 15 to 25 milligrams a day for 14 days before expected menses, stopping the day or so before menses. Now, 15 to 24 milligrams a day. Remember that Sisel has 25 to 30 per, let me jump back up here, has 25 milligrams per 1/4 teaspoon of cream, okay? 1/4 teaspoon, 25 milligrams. So that is your guideline. And then you can use it either once a day or twice a day. For probably once a day for premenopausal. For postmenopausal women, the dose that often works well is 15 milligrams a day for 25 days of the calendar month. Next question. What amount of progesterone do you recommend in a cream? Let's see here. We already talked. We're going to skip that part because it doesn't apply. How safe is progesterone cream? All right. Well, not good if you're in your 3rd trimester of pregnancy. We'll skip over that part. And it is recommended that transdermal on the skin cream is recommended rather than oral progesterone because, like many of our other products that we take, 80 to 90% of the oral dose is lost through the liver. So remember, when you put something on your skin, it's your biggest organ, and it's absorbed immediately into the bloodstream. It goes direct. So you would need a lot more orally. You would need 200 to 400 milligrams daily orally to receive the same dose topically of 15 to 24 milligrams. This would overload the liver. All right, so for more a more detailed explanation of what I've covered tonight, pregnenolone, progesterone, hormones, cortisol, all that good stuff, and you want to read more about it, I would recommend that you look up Dr. John R. Lee, L-E-E. He's a medical doctor. He has a few different books, What Your Doctor May Not Tell You About Menopause, What Your Doctor May Not Tell You About Premenopause, and What Your Doctor May Not Tell You About Breast Cancer. He's a very, I don't know if he's a naturopathic doctor, but very naturally oriented, and he says to minimize your risk of cancer, it's very important to understand that you should never take a supplemental estrogen without taking natural progesterone, again, to balance it. And steer clear of any synthetic version like Provera, which actually increases your risk of cancers and heart disease. So, ladies, men, be on the lookout for Provera users and educate them. Remember what Tom Maurer says. He says to create doubt, provide the solution. I always say create doubt, educate, provide the solution. All right, so I'm going to give you just a couple quick little things here on estrogen effects versus progesterone effects so you get the full picture, okay? So estrogen effects stimulates breast cysts. Progesterone effects protects against breast cysts. Estrogen effects increases body fat storage. Progesterone helps use fat for energy and keeps it off the hips. Estrogen, salt and fluid retention. Progesterone, natural diuretic. Estrogen, depression, headaches. Progesterone, natural antidepressant. Estrogen interferes with thyroid hormone. Progesterone facilitates thyroid hormone action. Estrogen increases blood clotting and risk of stroke. Progesterone normalizes blood clotting. Estrogen effects decreases sex drive. Progesterone increases sex drive. Estrogen impairs blood sugar control. Progesterone normalizes blood sugar levels. Estrogen, loss of zinc and retention of copper. Progesterone normalizes zinc and copper levels. Estrogen, reduced oxygen levels in all cells. Progesterone restores proper cell oxygen levels. Estrogen, increased risk of endometrial cancer. Progesterone prevents endometrial cancer. Estrogen, increased risk of breast cancer. Progesterone helps prevent breast cancer. Estrogen helps decrease bone loss density. Progesterone increases bone building. Now, who's the winner here? Progesterone, absolutely. Got to be natural. Use the intensified progesterone cream. So let me see if I've got a few more notes here from Dr. Mercola on dosing. I think we covered that. Men's equivalent of progesterone. Maybe this is a question for Eric. DHEA. But we don't sell that. We're not going to be talking about that. All right. I think I've covered everything I'd like to cover on the topic of progesterone cream tonight. I hope you enjoyed the call. I think you were educated. I certainly was. It is a 4-ounce cream, and it lasts a long, long time. It's $32. You can order it in your back office. So I am going to go ahead and unmute the lines. I'm going to continue the recording so I can get some testimonials. Please do me a favor. If you're not going to be contributing to the testimonials, press *6 and mute your line so we have a good quality recording of the testimonial so we can all hear. So *6 to mute, and then you can always *6 again to unmute. So here we go. You are all unmuted. All right. What did you think of that call? Amazing, huh?
It was great. Jackie, this is Eric.
Hi, Eric. How are you?
Susie can share a lot more if she's on the line. Hopefully she does. But I have to say that the progesterone cream is a powerful product. Just the information you were sharing tonight. I can tell you this firsthand because my ex-girlfriend and things like that was for 6 years. When women use the product, especially when they're going through their menstrual cycle and things like that, the crampage, all that stuff seems to dissipate, and the crankiness, the mood swings, and all that. Maybe you saw on Facebook. That's what I mean. That all men should be on this call because I definitely encourage you to get your wives on this or your girlfriends or whatever because it will make your wives a lot nicer. So if you have those challenges, but for me personally, I use the progesterone cream in certain situations more so when I have headaches, or if I have inflammation problems like in my lower neck area and that stuff. It works tremendously with inflammation. And Susie actually reminded me a few weeks ago where I had a very bad headache, and she asked me if I had the progesterone cream, which I did. And I kid you not, by applying that at my temples of my head and my forehead, within about less than 15 minutes, everything was gone. And this is a headache that I was dealing with all day long. And,
wow.
So it really has a lot to do with a lot of those areas. So it works for men and women in a lot of different areas. So that's what I wanted to share tonight. So I'm very...
Fantastic. You've enlightened me. This is wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I'm going to add that testimony when I post it to the back office. Thank you, Eric.
Yeah. Sure.
Yes.
I'm not a lot of money with this product.
I
a lot of money.
Understand what you're saying. And Eric, I will bring you to. I think it's the freeconferencing.com line.
Okay. I'll try calling back in.
Call back in, Susie, real quick. And then
all right, well, Susie's calling back in. I want to hear her testimony. Does anyone else have a testimony or even a question?
Jackie, it's Vicki. Can I ask a question?
Absolutely. Let Eric answer it.
All right, let's see if Eric knows the answer to this question. I read this on a package at one of the natural food stores. Natural progesterone USV from soy. What does that mean, and is that healthy?
No, you don't want to use that. You don't want to use products from soy. You want to use Sisel's progesterone cream from that component, that constituent of wild yam that's converted in the laboratory to pregnenolone and then progesterone. So soy bad all across the board.
Jackie, I'm back in. Am I still breaking up?
No, that's much better, Susie. Thank you for calling back in. Go right ahead.
I made a lot of money with this particular product, and I didn't use it just for women. I used it for various things. I highly recommend the books that you mentioned by Dr. John Arley. He is a medical doctor. He's deceased now. And I always tell women, if you want to be empowered to take back your health, female health, read that book. You can read your symptoms. You were kind of going through them. I've used it for young girls to help with their horrible cramping and to regulate their periods instead of birth control pills. Okay? Because my daughter did that, and it caused a lot of problems as she got older. I've used it for men with prostate, swollen prostate. A little dab will do you in the right place. It reduces inflammation. It reduces headaches. Dr. Lee said women have more progesterone than men if a boy or a man has a head injury. Immediately put this progesterone cream on their head to help reduce swelling. So with our boys racing motorcycles, that was part of our first aid kit. My grandsons, who are now 18 and 20, and the one that died, they knew to call, and I put it on a lot of motorcycle guys. They'd get hurt, and they, wrecked, and they'd be sore, and I'd say, here, go put this on, and in 15 or 20 minutes it helped with the swelling and the bruising. It literally, I've seen it take people that had liposuction surgery, where they had a lot of bruising, they were trying to suck the fat out. This helps reduce bruising quickly, too. So there's a lot of benefit to understanding what this particular product can do, and the quality that Sisel has amazing. It is very, very good.
Wow. Wow, that's fantastic. That's wonderful. I'll include the testimonies also. If you think of any more, Susie, feel free to go and comment on the post, because this, or even on the Sisel Facebook pages, because this is such important information, guys, because the whole purpose of these calls and Sisel's products is to help people. And most people have an ailment or 2 or 3 or 4 or more. And we are the solution to their problems, whatever it might be. It might not be in all cases, but wow, I've been enlightened by both you and Eric tonight, and just just going through the whole process of preparing for the call, I thought this was just a product for women going through perimenopause or menopause. So I have been enlightened myself. Thank you.
It can. The last thing I'll say, it can help women that seem to miscarry a lot. You need to read the book and understand that. But once you start, you got to keep using it. You don't do it like you said in the late trimester. You don't want to start and then stop it. But understanding what it's doing in the body, I as a hairdresser, I knew we had several babies after they started using this and we've been having trouble getting pregnant.
Oh, wow. Very, very good. Thank you so much.
So clear.
All right. Anyone else have a question or testimonial about the progesterone cream?
Jackie, I got a question real quick.
Who is that with? How's the question?
This is Fred out here in Reno.
Hi, Fred. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I was just wondering, where do you apply this stuff?
All right, so you're going to apply it to the palms of your hand, the inside of your wrist is a very common place, anywhere where the skin is very thin on your body, because it's going to be easily absorbed. Now, keep in mind that Sisel's progesterone cream has been created so it actually absorbs in the skin much quicker, and it's very effective. But yeah, I would put it on your forearms, and like Susie said, if a man has prostate issues, and the issue is usually swelling, you can apply it directly. So yeah.
Okay, well, good, very good, thank you. And also, you think that inner chi is going to be a cream, or is it going to be a capsule? Do you know?
I read it was going to be a capsule, Fred.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Very good call,
pleasure.
by the way.
All right. Glad you enjoy it. Anyone else?
Jackie, it's Barb from Montana.
Hi, Barb.
Hi. I was a person that got an autoimmune disease because I had too much estrogen. And it's a very rare thing. 1 in a million gets it. And, of course, my gynecologist and I in a small town both have had it. So I was told I could never do any type of hormones, even natural. But I have been using the progesterone cream, and I can honestly say my joints are better. Everything feels better. So I went in and talked to her and showed her, and she says, I've never seen anything as natural as this made.
Wow.
So she's going to buy some, too.
Wow. So you got the approval of your doctor. Fantastic. Well, thank you. I'm so glad it's working so well for you, Barb.
Thank you.
All right. Anyone else? Going once, going twice. All right. Well, we've had a great call tonight. Thank you, Eric, Susie, and Barb, for those incredible testimonies. I'll be posting this in a little bit later tonight. And remember that you can find all the recorded calls in the Sisel back office, Sisel Academy, training,